just ask, during housekeeping, I can ask the roll call people to start lining.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So then they'll be standing.
Yeah.
Next week.
All right, yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
What you should say after. It seems like if someone doesn't mention that then maybe here
Okay.
one not
Oh, all right,
so
okay.
I'm going to when I do the roll call, meaning that we do the roll call, I will say that all of these.
Okay.
These are the other three. Not recognized. You can take it. Oh, I can take this?
There might be
What if
more.
they're...
Let's just take a picture of it.
Yeah. Good call. Okay. Yeah, I got the photo. I got the photo.
We want,
I don't, we didn't write any.
do you want them to wave or hand up?
No. There.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
And it gets to be a thing, yeah.
All right. We gotta get the show on the road.
Have a nice day. We got one, I guess.
Yes. How many times have you said
Hello and welcome, everyone. We're about to get started. I'm Dave Lafredo. I'll be co-chair today. I'm from the Church of the Holy Nativity in Clarendon Hills, a dues-paying member of DuPage United.
Good afternoon, buenos dias, assalamu alaikum. I'm Tabassum Halim from the Islamic Center of Naperville, the other co-chair.
Okay, some housekeeping. To your left and down the stairs, there's access to the prayer room, and the restrooms are then further to your left down the corridor. And at the end of the session, we're going to have, for DuPage United, a review session, evaluation session, and that's also, there's some signage down there to guide you to that session as well. Okay, so the roll call individuals, please line up right now just to make sure you're lined up in advance of the roll call. And then I'd like to introduce Pastor Seth Carey to give the opening reflection and prayer.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is very much my privilege and pleasure and honor to welcome all of you, each and every one, to this First Congregational Church of Glen, Ellyn. We are a free and forward-thinking and radically hospitable church and a proud dues-paying member of DuPage United. We all know that our world today is fraught with problems, predicaments, injustice, and plain old bad trouble. I don't have to spell it all out for you. And that's why our congregation is a partner of DuPage United. We know that we can't save the world, as it were, but we want to make our corner of creation a more just, equitable, compassionate, sustainable place for the people who live here. Sometimes bad trouble, in the immortal words of Senator John Lewis, requires good trouble. And that's what DuPage United is all about. That means working to build a more affordable housing community in the midst of an affordability and housing crisis. It means getting a stoplight built at a crossing that's taken too many lives. It means helping immigrants integrate into our community while the powers that be only want to throw them out. Thank you for being here today, for caring enough to be here. Thanks to our elected officials also who committed to being here and working together with DuPage United for winnable solutions. And with that, I'd like to invite Sheikh Rizwan Ali, Senior Imam of the Islamic Center of Naperville, to open our time together in prayer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May God's peace and blessings and mercy be upon us all. I'd like to thank the organizers for bringing us together here today. Before we pray, I'd just like to remind myself and everybody that as we gather together today, we are mindful that members of our community and county and country are going through a lot of difficulties and challenges. In difficult times, it is beneficial and therapeutic to come together with those who share our values of compassion, empathy, and justice. With that, let us pray. O God, we call upon you through your beautiful names and glorious attributes. You are the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most just. In a world filled with chaos and darkness, grant us the ability to serve as beacons of light, providing clarity, courage, and direction to impact our county and world positively. Allow us to see truth as truth and give us the ability to follow it. Allow us to see falsehood as falsehood and give us the ability to stay away from it. As this group has stood together in the past to accomplish amazing things, let us continue to stand united as one against hate, intolerance, discrimination, and apathy. Let us care and work together, not only when it's convenient or things affect us directly, but grant us true courage. Grant us the true courage and strength to stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves, to stand and support those who are abused, neglected, and abandoned. Let this assembly be a source of goodness, compassion, and justice. Let us be a light in the darkness and a source of healing for those who suffer. Guide us to work together in ways that are most pleasing to you. Dear God, ease the suffering of people in DuPage County and all over the world, and grant justice to those who are oppressed. Protect this assembly and allow us to stand together as one. Make us all sources of justice, peace, and light to our families, communities, county, and world. Amen.
The lifeblood of DuPage United is its dues-paying member organizations. Here you will be introduced to the member organizations that are in attendance right now. Please start the roll call.
Laura Pecorelli with First Congregational Church of Glen, Ellyn, 1,500 members.
George Smith from St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Glen, Ellyn, 1,000 members.
Judy Klein from First Church of Lombard, 400 members.
Joel Spenedel from Congregation at Heim in Lombard, 500 members.
David Burke, First Congregational United Church of Christ, Downers Grove, representing 400 members.
Liz Lanning, Trinity Episcopal Church in Wheaton, 400 families.
Scott Campbell, College DuPage Faculty Association, representing 300 members.
Arif Khan, Islamic Center of Naperville, 3,000 families.
Bradlin Boom, Church of the Holy Nativity, 257 members.
Bill Trueblood, Downers Grove Friends Meeting, 50 members.
Marissa Sabio, representing Full Circle Communities, Villagebrook Apartments in Carroll Stream, 480 residents.
Bill Ulrich, the Faith Lutheran Church in fabulous Glen Ellyn, 1,208 confirmed members and growing.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Saima Asfar from ICNA Relief. We are dues-paying member of DuPage United and United Power. We serve 19,000 community members in Chicagoland.
Muhammad Asfar from ICNA Relief.
Mike Ryder from St. Thomas the Apostle in Naperville, faith community of 10,000 members. Thank you.
Mina Kerr from St. Paul Lutheran in Wheaton, representing 95 families.
So DuPage United is always growing. You heard some new names here. We'd like to give a warm welcome to our newest member institutions, Full Circle Communities, Heritage Presbyterian Church in Carroll Stream, and College of DuPage Faculty Association.
An integral part of community organizing is working with government officials. We would like to recognize the government officials, elected officials that are in the audience today. Erica Bray Parker, Wheaton City Council. Laura Ellman, Illinois State Senator. And Margaret De La Rosa, Illinois State Representative.
Good afternoon. I am Kevin Caruso, and I'm privileged to be a priest who serves at Trinity Episcopal Church in Wheaton, Illinois, a dues-paying member of DuPage United. And I'm going to start by admitting something to you that I'm actually pretty uncomfortable with. A lot of times, I feel pretty powerless, and I bet I'm not alone in that. And yet, despite the pervasive feeling of powerlessness, this is far from the truth. Hearing that roll call of institutions was powerful. Being a part of DuPage United has helped me learn how together we can do the work to build the power needed to make our world a better place. How the civic sector, that is me, and that is you, how as the civic sector, we can work with the government sector to improve our communities. The truth is, together we have power. DuPage United brings together people through their institutions to then build that power one conversation at a time. And through hundreds of conversations with people in individual meetings and small group listening sessions, we've listened to what matters to people in our communities. And that allows us to then give voice to the needs and desires of the civic sector, our needs and desires. And while it's certainly true we don't find agreement on every issue, right? There are those which draw us together. And it's listening to our community that allows us to then identify those local, winnable issues we can work on. And when we find those issues that are important enough to the community, then we know it's time. It's time to come together so that we can build together. And I don't think it'll be any surprise to you what we've heard. We've heard the calls for affordable and accessible housing. We've heard calls for traffic safety and sidewalks to make our neighborhoods safer. We've heard calls to provide for the well-being of essential workers, including immigrants. These may seem like disconnected things, but they're not. There's a pattern. It's all about a lack of infrastructure needed to help families thrive. The health and well-being of families is at the core of why we build power together, to get things done. And what you'll see today is people acting on their own belief. In DuPage United, we believe in the iron rule. Do not do for others what they can do for themselves. Which is why we're here, doing this for these communities we're a part of and we love. Leaders learning how to turn a problem into a winnable issue. Leaders learning how to have a following. This room full of people is the result of leaders building their followings within their institutions. And when you hear about the progress of our work on these issues, you'll hear another pattern too. That's a pattern of delays and a lack of urgency. Are we okay with delays and a lack of urgency with such pressing issues? No. I hope not. This lack of urgency is a problem because it keeps families from not only thriving, but literally surviving. As DuPage United, rather than focus on what divides our communities, though, we're focused on what can bring us together so that we can act and get results. We don't come to the government sector just with problems. We come with solutions. And so as DuPage United, we are ready to come together and build together with urgency. DuPage United is also fiercely committed to being nonpartisan. We focus on people and issues and not partisan politics. And this afternoon, we actually get to be part of something that's increasingly rare and worth celebrating. And that's that we have a Republican state senator and a Democratic U.S. Congressman with us today in the building, working with the same organization to get things done. Right? Yeah, right? Hey, we got a photo. But showing us how we get past just partisan finger-pointing and working to build up our communities together. Two elected officials who not only have shown up, but they've shown a dedication to finding solutions when presented. A part of a nurturing of our fragile democracy that is so needed right now. So Congresswoman Ramirez and Senator Lewis, thank you for being here. Your work shows us what's possible when we come together and build together. I think they deserve another round of applause, don't you? And with them, what we're doing today is we're telling a story of hope, a story of the civic sector working with the government sector to make our world better, a story about the power of democracy in action through locally organized people. Are you ready to come together and build together? So when I say come together, you say build together. Come together. Build together. Come together. Build together. Come together. Build together. Together we are the furthest thing from powerless. This is what can and does happen when we dare to dream of the world as it should be. And when we come together and build together to make that happen now.
My name is Claire Hughes. I'm a member of First Congregational Church, a proud dues-paying member of DuPage United. On November 13th, DuPage United held an action celebrating 640 Taft Avenue, a 42-unit supportive apartment development. We celebrated this win after spending 5 years of organizing the community and working together to make the development a reality. One speaker called it 42 units of hope. On November 13th, DuPage United leaders issued a call to action to DuPage communities and elected officials to build 5 more developments with urgency. To the elected officials, we called for them to help us help you. To our DuPage United leaders, we called for urgency in building relational power for the next affordable housing campaign. Relational organizing has begun in Villa Park, Lombard, and Downers Grove. 5 years is too long to wait for affordable apartments essential for human flourishing in our communities. We all know that stable, affordable housing provides a bedrock for families necessary for an economically stable community. For us gathered here in this sacred place, we cherish human flourishing. It is a central tenet of all Abrahamic faiths. We cannot normalize this lack of urgency to build safe, affordable housing. Our immigrants, our black and brown brothers and sisters, have been oppressed too long. Let's come together to build together with urgency. Come together. Build together. Come together. Build together. Come together. Build together. Great, thank you. Now, let's carefully listen closely to Ellyn Douglas and Brianna Fabian as they share with us some of the struggles they face to afford housing in DuPage County.
Thank you for that warm welcome and introduction. I'm excited to be here to share my story. My name is Ellyn Douglas, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator for Christ Covenant Church of Villa Park. For the last 6 years, I have grown our outreach ministry this little light. We run a food pantry. We've opened and expanded a clothing closet. And every time we're open, we see new faces. I'm also an active leader within the Villa Park Early Childhood Collaborative. I'm grateful for all of the ways I connect with my collaborative partners to make the greatest impact possible within DuPage County. So because of my work, you would think that I would be sharing about the growing number of individuals that are facing homelessness that are utilizing our resources. However, I didn't come together, build together, to share their stories about homelessness and food insecurity. I came to share my own story. I share my story to raise awareness about the spectrum of people that are impacted by the rising cost of living in DuPage County. And show me some grace, because it's a personal story and it's difficult to share. I'm a single mother with 2 children, Caleb and Kara. My oldest son, Caleb, is autistic. We live in Lombard, and this past year was particularly difficult for us. For 3 years, I worked 2 jobs, working more than 50 hours a week just to make ends meet. When I was offered a full-time position at Christ Covenant Church, I thought that my life would drastically improve. I received a raise. I still wasn't making $19 an hour, but I was grateful for the increase of pay. I was offered health insurance. I was offered life insurance and the option to put into a retirement plan. Things were looking up. Then, because I received a raise, I was notified that my Medicaid health insurance was getting taken away from me. Again, I was thankful because my new contract offered health insurance, but when I looked at the packages available to me, I was shocked at how expensive it was to cover myself, even with my church putting forth some money to help me get health insurance. I was willing to cut corners so that I could pay for my health insurance. That was pretty costly. The way I cut corners was by utilizing community resources and food pantries like my own. Almost immediately after I found out I was losing my health insurance, I found out that in order to sign my new lease, I would have to pay $300 more a month for my rent. I found myself in a devastating situation. I was going to have to try to find somewhere else to live. Since I have a child with special needs, it is imperative that I stay within our school district so that Caleb can continue to thrive with the resources he has implemented through his IEP. I serve this community. I love this community. Both of my children have friends in this community. We have family within this community. So while I attempted to find housing within our school district, I quickly learned that even with a $300 rent increase, I was still living in the most affordable housing that was available to me in Lombard. I am paying $2,700 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment plus utilities. I no longer have health insurance because I prioritized keeping my home and chose not to be homeless. I'm currently looking for another second job because 90% of my income goes towards my housing. I am struggling significantly, and yet I am in a much better position than the people I serve at my church. I'm not alone, and there seems to be no relief in sight. There are many people like me who reside in DuPage County that are a job loss, divorce, illness, or injury away from facing homelessness. It's now so important to come together and build together for the greater good of our community, and I thank you all for being here and taking the time to hear my story.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna, and I'm with Jubilee Housing as well as Outreach Ministries. I am here today to share the importance of why we should have affordable housing around the DuPage County area for the people. For those who don't know what Jubilee Housing is, it is a transitional housing for single moms ages between 18 to 24 years old with 1 child. They help with finding a full-time job or a career, going back to school, and finding childcare if you don't have it already. The main goal is that Jubilee sets you up for success and stability, so whenever you do leave, you have somewhere. You could go somewhere. They are a community-based program. To give a little backstory, I was born and raised in DuPage County. I graduated from Glenbard North High School, and I am also a single mom to a young child. Even though I have a tight and busy schedule, I wanted to prioritize coming here today to this assembly to share the importance of having options for affordable housing. I work a part-time job due to childcare restraints, but I hope sometime soon I will go back to school to get my certification for a good full-time job for myself, but mainly for my son, so he could have a better future. Affordable housing would be one of my first options once I leave Jubilee Housing. I hope to get a place of my own one day. That's my main goal. That's my biggest goal. Due to past experiences from my own life, moving around from age 10 into my adult years, which I officially stopped moving around at age 23 years old. I went to 1 elementary school, 3 different middle schools, and 1 high school. I lived with family and friends, and at one point I lived all the way in the city, and I was still coming out here to go to school at Glenbard North. I felt out of place all the time, thinking I was gonna move again, which made me feel very insecure. So I feel that affordable housing should be an option for all the people in need, especially in today's economy and price inflations, because I know people who aren't moms that still struggle to make ends meet. Budgeting and working 2 jobs, still barely meeting housing expectations. This is why housing is such a big deal for me. So please come together, build together, and act in urgency for people in need of affordable housing. Thank you.
Thank you to our community speakers for sharing us your stories, your experience. I now recognize Congresswoman Delia Ramirez of the 3rd District to come to the podium.
You can see me, right?
No step were necessary.
Oh, there is a...
Look at that.
All right, good, good. All right, thank you.
There we go.
Congresswoman Ramirez, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I was thinking back to when we first began our public relationship with you. You were first running for Congress, and you held a small group listening session with clergy. And my husband and I were representing our congregation and DuPage United. And it was that time I saw what a healthy civic sector and government sector leadership communication looked like. You continued listening when you met with our DuPage mayors and village presidents. You saw the importance of the affordable supportive apartment development in Glen Ellyn and learned that the cost of demolition was an issue. You carefully worded your request to Congress so that the appropriation would pass. I want to recognize you for garnering $750,000 in federal funds needed for the demolition of the abandoned hotels at 640 Taft Avenue in Glen Ellyn. I also want to recognize the work your staff did when these funds were held up during the government shutdown in October and early November. Your staff answered the call to work with DuPage United leaders to reach out to the handful of people at HUD that we knew were still working, but we needed to get in touch with them. Together, we worked persistently, and on the day the shutdown ended, the approval to release the funds came through that very same day, and now the old hotels are down. Together, we model a healthy relationship between civic and government sectors. Thank you. I have some questions for you, Congresswoman Ramirez. As you know, DuPage United is part of a regional Illinois community organizing network and a national network through Metro Industrial Areas Foundation. Through home ownership programs like Nehemiah Homes and Reclaiming Chicago, our affiliates in Chicago and New York have demonstrated success in reclaiming impoverished neighborhoods, restoring human dignity and human flourishing by the creation of 7,000 homes for home ownership. And just a fact, according to the U.S. Department of Treasury, home ownership rate for white households is 75%, compared to 45% for black households and 48% for Hispanic households. That ain't right. That's not right. We are looking for something that is proactive. We are tired of division. We want to come together to... Great. Congresswoman Ramirez, will you recommit to work with us to build bipartisan support for federal investment to address the massive shortage of housing for home ownership for working families?
C, yes.
Yay, all right. DuPage United is always very specific, and specifically, we're asking that you prioritize meeting with Democrat and Republican members of Congress around a strategy to address this housing shortage, which can improve the health of our economy. Thank you. We've appreciated meeting with your staff on numerous occasions. We've got a really good government-civic sector relationship going on there, and we would love to meet with you directly. Will you agree to meet with us in 60 days to report out and discuss the progress on both of our respective commitments that we've been making together?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Another thing DuPage United does, if we ask an elected representative to commit, we commit back. And Congresswoman Ramirez, what is your challenge to us today?
Thank you. That is the beauty of community organizing and building relationships. My question for you is, DuPage United, will you commit to continuing to build power, to build your base and your relationships with the Illinois delegation so that next year, other members of the congressional delegation will join me at this assembly?
Thank you. All right. So on behalf of DuPage United leadership, I will answer that challenge, and then we can all clap. We will commit to continue to build our relational power base. We will continue to relate with the Illinois congressional delegation in DuPage County and press to get them to our assembly. And we will also work with other Illinois Metro IAF affiliates, engaging other members of Congress as well. Are you with me? Congresswoman Ramirez, I invite you to speak for a few minutes to this assembly of DuPage United members and guests.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Thank you, DuPage United Assembly, for welcoming me today. It was so good to be with you the last time. And for those of you that don't know me personally, it was in a small church in the city of Chicago, Humboldt Park United Methodist Church, my home church, where I learned community organizing and where I started my commitment in public service, particularly in addressing the issues of housing, as that was the place where I started working at a homeless shelter and then became its executive director. So being here with all of you today feels like being at home. Now, as I think about our last conversation, the last time I was here, I know that much has changed. But what hasn't changed is really the impact that we can realize when we build power together. Throughout my career in social services, I have seen that safe, that affordable, dignified housing is the foundation on which much of our quality of life and economic security is built. Yet, as we know, in the richest nation in the world, housing is treated as a commodity, not a necessity. And you and I both know that has to change. We must ensure that no one remains unhoused, that young people can afford their first apartment, that working families don't have to choose between paying for their rent or getting health care, that older adults can age in place and remain housed even as their life is changing, and that communities aren't displaced from the places where they once flourished. It is why in Congress, these last 3 years, I've been committed to do this work. I've reintroduced the Tenants' Right to Organize Act to protect and expand the power of tenants fighting for affordable housing. I'm working across the aisle to support majority Republican-led initiatives like the Neighborhood Homes Investment Act and the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act of 2025 that I know has the promise to expand home ownership and is a priority of DuPage United. And I've brought federal funding back to our communities for the construction of affordable housing. During the year 2024, I was proud to deliver $1.75 million in construction of affordable units across Illinois 3. And I'm working to deliver $5.1 million more in federal funding to build more affordable units across Illinois 3, including $2 million in DuPage's Housing Authority. So here's what I know. We can build affordable housing. The question is whether we want to, which is why your work to build relationships and power to move my colleagues to collaboration and action is so important. I've proven both my commitment to you and the work that we're doing together, because we have to build affordable, sustainable housing for all of us. So let's keep building our power and move more of my colleagues so that we build permanent, affordable housing for all in the state of Illinois. Thank you, and let's build together.
Good afternoon. My name is Marissa Savio. I work with Outreach Community Ministries, serving specifically at Village Brook Apartments in Carroll Stream. Village Brook is a property of Full Circle Communities, a dues-paying member of DuPage United. Even before starting at Village Brook in 2017, the issue of pedestrian safety and access to public transportation has always been important to me and the residents. Village Brook is made up of over 180 households, representing just under 500 residents, ranging from young children to older adults. The apartment complex is situated on a stretch of county road that houses mainly light industrial buildings, warehouses, and storage facilities. For the residents to gain access to PACE bus lines on Gary Avenue or Schmale, they must walk on St. Charles in either direction with no safe way to get to the nearest bus stop 1 mile away. St. Charles is a roadway with a single lane of traffic in both directions. It has no shoulder. The little bit of space at the edge of the lane is just made up of rough gravel with a sharp embankment. There is very little room for a pedestrian to maneuver safely on St. Charles. Yet every day, you will see residents, teenagers, mothers with kids, adults with disabilities, individuals pulling a shopping cart, walking on the street in all kinds of weather just to reach grocery stores, their jobs, and to access social amenities. That's not right. Many of the residents don't have cars, so their only option is to walk on this road. The posted speed limit is 40 miles per hour, but most vehicles just speed down St. Charles with impunity, caring very little for anyone else on the street. A resident-led letter-writing campaign to PACE Bus led nowhere. Only when DuPage United began working with us at Village Brook did the issue of pedestrian safety start gaining traction. Door-knocking campaigns and listening sessions raise a core group of resident leaders and allies, leading to 4 meetings in 2025, once with county staff, twice with a county board member, and the Carroll Stream mayor. In each meeting, the need for pedestrian safety and access was highlighted, and while it appears that funding may be available in 2 years, we want to be sure that Village Brook residents' needs and concerns are not ignored nor deprioritized. What we need now is to see a prioritization of the community's needs. What we need now is our elected officials to act with urgency. What we need now is to come together and build together an infrastructure and community that looks to meet the needs of others. Are we ready to come together and build together? Are we ready to come together and build together? Are we ready to come together and build together? Well, vamos, let's do this. It is now my pleasure to introduce one of the resident leaders at Village Brook, Ms. Raven Dunn.
My name is Raven Dunn, and I am a resident at Village Brook. I have to walk on St. Charles Road to get to my job. I've had to walk in the rain and in the cold, and it is dangerous because there's no space on the side of the road and cars come speeding by. I always feel scared. I also worry because my child, along with lots of the kids and teenagers at Village Brook, have to walk or bike along that road to get to other places. There's no place to jump out of the way when cars come by and splash you. It feels terrible, and you have to show up somewhere all wet and cold. It really shows that the drivers don't see you. Even if they do, they don't care about you. It's really hard to see people on the street when it's dark, so that's another reason it's dangerous. A lot of the residents don't have cars, and we don't have any other option than to walk on St. Charles Road to get to our jobs, the grocery store, the bank, and other places that we need for our daily lives. We deserve to be seen and to be safe walking down the street. This is why it is important that we keep fighting for pedestrian safety and access to public transportation. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Elsa Hailu. I've been living at Marion Park and Mercy House in Wheaton since 1998. I started working on traffic safety campaigns in February 2023. That was 3 years ago. We knew it didn't happen overnight. We have 3 years ago, we have a way to go. I am never going to give up. I am never going to give up to work for the safety life for my community. Yes. I know one day I'll push the crosswalk on Roseboro Road button with my community. Safety, cross the road. For 3 years, our team on resident allies from Strategy and South Paul and Wheaton, we have working hard to come together to build the power together as save lives.
You're here.
$500 people live in Marion Park apartment, including many children and senior citizens. Our home is in Roseboro Road, a busy 4 lanes highway, the state of highway, with no safety across the streets to the Target shopping center. Here is the slide, my community. The picture of the slide, my community show. We got started on the traffic light campaigns by meetings with residents back in February 2023. We had multiple doors-to-door knocking, listening sessions, meetings one-on-one, meetings with residents, city council's meetings with meetings IDAs, meetings with our state senators and reps. I went 3 days, the leadership training with others, DuPage United. We have made progress in 2024. Senator St. Louis worked with us to organize the $250,000 from Illinois state budget. The Councilwoman Per Parker, he's here today. Thank you for you being here. We look forward to meet with you soon. Thank you. We have met certain time with Mayor C. We had invited him 3 times to our sampling since 2023. He always has declined to attend our meeting. He wouldn't come to our meeting, DuPage United, he will go to his meeting. Thank you. God bless America.
Thank you. Senator Lewis, we are really grateful that you're here with us today. And before saying anything else, we want to recognize your commitment to saving the lives of those who cross Roosevelt Road daily to go to work and to buy groceries. You've attended 3 actions of DuPage United at least. You've met with our leaders multiple times, and you've championed this community in legislation in the Illinois General Assembly. So thank you. And I understand we have some good news today. I'm going to steal your thunder, maybe, I don't know. But Senator Lewis has filed a bill for an additional $750,000 of funding for this traffic signal. We know we have work to do in relating to the legislators of DuPage County and engaging our DuPage United affiliates across the region for support, and we're committed to do that work. Senator Lewis, we have a question for you.
Sure.
Will you help DuPage United build bipartisan support for the in the Illinois General Assembly regarding Senate Bill 2807 for additional $750,000 of funding for the traffic signal on Roosevelt Road by Marion Park Apartments?
Absolutely.
Senator, we'd love to give you an opportunity to address the people gathered here.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's always an honor to be here with DuPage United. I wish we didn't have to on this issue, because it was 3 years ago that we put forth a bill to get the monies. We did get $250,000, and at that point in time, St. Francis High School, which is right next to Marion Park, they committed to raising an extra $500,000, and I thought we had this thing done. IDOT had encouraged it included it in its plans. We got the city of Wheaton and the mayor and the city council to approve it. That took a little bit of work, but we were on autopilot to have that stoplight in the works until Target got involved. And Target revoked the parking for St. Francis High School students. So upon Target revoking the permit of parking, it was no longer financially affordable for St. Francis to put forth their $500,000 because they had to reallocate that to a parking lot in the back of their high school. So, in demonstrating my commitment, and Reverend Walker and Debbie Suggs, Debbie and I are on a first name basis, I believe, these days.
Absolutely.
We're back at it. I filed Senate Bill 2807, requesting $750,000. We don't have to go through the work in which we did with the City Council and IDOT. They're still planning it. I committed to Reverend Walker that I would look for any and everywhere, IDOT, General Assembly, City of Wheaton, County, to try and get this done. So that is my public commitment to all of you here. My staff is well aware. And with 1 minute to go, I do want to talk about Village Brook Apartments. I have been in your parking lot. I know exactly what you're talking about. I have reached out to PACE already. For those of you that don't know, I was one of the lead negotiators on the Republican side for the $1.5 billion public transportation fix. I voted yes for it, the only Republican. The only Republican in the building on both chambers to vote for it.
Yeah.
So getting people from point A to point B is important to me. I'm an engineer, and just 30 more seconds, Debbie, if I may.
You earned it.
24th Senate District goes west, so I got all of Wheaton, all of Carroll Stream. You are my constituents. A little bit of Glen Ellyn, all of Winfield, northern Naperville, northern Lisle. Then it comes up through the northern part of DuPage County, through your Bartlett, Roselle's, Bloomingdale's, all the way to Elk Grove Village. But as I was saying, I'm an engineer, 2 boys, 5th generation to live here in Illinois, and I do want to help make Illinois a place where people want to live instead of a place they want to leave. And getting people who want to go to work from point A to point B so they can feed their families, live comfortably, have an active lifestyle that is fulfilled by work and recreation, that is something I believe in. And that is something I fight for. I work with my colleagues across the aisle to try and make that happen. I was just named the most best Republican to work with in the Illinois Senate. So as I go into my sixth year in the General Assembly, I did 2 in the House, and if Congresswoman Ramirez was here, we started out together. We'd share some stories. So you know, I feel that I just have to share this. Behind the scenes, it's not as what people may believe. In the House and the Senate, 75% of what we vote on is unanimous. We have an agreed bill process where Senator Ellyn and I, for approximately 200 bills, our chamber is unanimous yes. Another 10% to 20%, yeah, there's disagreement, but it's not knockdown, drag out. In fact, we could have probably the same for efficiencies. Here's the bills we agree with, and here's what we call partisan agreement, and that it would go down partisan lines. I would say less than 15 bills a year you're seeing us on the microphones. That's what the TV is picking up. Don't let that 30 seconds or those 15 bills skew your thoughts, because I can call Senator Ellyn and she can call me, and we can sit down and talk about anything that's affecting our communities. We may not come to the same agreement, but we will hear each other. We always respect one another. We listen, and then we take a little bit away from the conversation.
And that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That is what your elected officials in the General Assembly do. And that is what your elected officials who represent DuPage County, that is the way in which we come forth and try and get solutions. So it's an honor today to be here. Thank you for the extra time. I'm committed to getting things done. Debbie, you're always welcome in my office. Love to have you. Same with you, Reverend. So love to have you. So and I appreciate being here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Back to short people. My name is Debbie Fulks, and I'm with Faith Lutheran here in Glen, Ellyn. You know, if you think about it, building housing, traffic signals, sidewalks, it's really about supporting human infrastructure. DuPage United's strength depends on listening to one another so we can build trust and act together in powerful ways. We're trained to hold one-to-one relational meetings and conduct listening sessions that help us understand one another and the issues that impact our families. 20 years ago, Nazish Yarkhan from the Muslim Society Incorporated came to other DuPage United leaders to ask that we help immigrant families advocate to preserve an after-school program at her elementary school. As you heard, our iron rule is that we don't do for someone else what they can do for themselves. So we were willing to listen, to teach, and to act alongside these parents, but we weren't going to be the ones to decide what they wanted or what they needed. So Nazish organized an impromptu listening session at my church by going across the street and knocking on the apartment doors and leading 10 or 12 people back across the street. I mean, like that. But it quickly became apparent that they couldn't even communicate with one another, let alone school officials. There were a lot of different languages in that group of people. In the end, what they asked for were English lessons. They wanted us to help them learn English. So those with the highest English skills worked with DuPage United leaders to start the one-to-one interfaith English tutoring program that still meets at Faith Lutheran today. The immigrants on the team. Is my friend Ibrahim here? Oh, he's way up there. He was one of the immigrants who went out and recruited students, and the rest of us recruited tutors from the DuPage United member institutions. Now, DuPage United is not a service provider. This whole effort was about establishing relationships by welcoming recent immigrants and getting to know them. Relationships were established among the students and the tutors from all different religions and from about 20 different countries over the years. At one point, we even all acted together and fought to preserve free English classes that were about to be eliminated at College of DuPage. We were a powerful, unyielding force. We had immigrants, along with leaders from the institutions from all over DuPage, and we saved classes for nearly 2,000 students. Our students have gone on to become citizens and essential participants in our communities. Pharmacists, social workers, lab technicians, bankers, CNAs, business owners, a chef, and even DuPage United leaders. Our county is stronger and more vibrant because they are part of our life together. I'd like anyone who is here today that's been involved as a tutor, a student, or a child care helper, and yes, we watched the kids while the adults were learning English. Please stand. Stand up there. Now I want to introduce Beatrice Daisenga, a student from the early years who has worked, raised 6 kids as a single mom, become a citizen, and earned a degree in social work in the ensuing years.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be here. And the good thing is sunshine today, so which we don't have to worry about snow. Yeah, my name is Beatrice Ndaisenga, and I'm a single mom, as she mentioned, with 6 children. I fled war in Burundi in 1997 and lived in a refugee camp in Tanzania until 2004 when the U.S. State Department brought me and my family in Glen, Ellyn. I will always be thankful for a placement, and I will never get used to this cold. Yeah, when I first met Debbie and the other DuPage United leaders, what I noticed was that they wanted to hear what I had to say, what I was all about, and how I could contribute my ideas and skills to my community, to my new communities. This was a very different from being told what to do, being ignored, or being looked down on. I felt respected. Having so many different religions and cultures in one room was scary at first for some students, especially those from war-torn places where people do not trust one another. But it's really hard to stay suspicious of another culture once you know someone and found out that you want the same thing for your families. We learned it was possible to bridge our dividers and respect one another and our differences, cultures. That it was amazing. The program gave me confidence. I knew that hard work would move me and my children ahead, and that there were people who were willing to guide me. Now I am a social work with the Lutheran Social Services of Illinois. My oldest daughter is a banker. My oldest son will be graduating from Bradley University with an engineering degree this May. My second son is at North Central College in Naperville and planning to become a high school math teacher. Thank you. My three youngest are all very good students, I can say. I cannot wait to see what they become. I saw how DuPage United builds up people. So I have taken trainings to do one-on-one meetings, run listening sessions, and meet with public officials. I am now DuPage United leader at Marian Park in Wheaton. Our family thrives when we know and respect one another. We have to continue this work of listening to one another and build up our community together. Today, more than ever, we need to be listening to our immigrant neighbors. So let's hear from my friend who is the recent Just Girl citizen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to add a little bit to my story. My name is Juanita Jimenez. I'm an immigrant. I'm the older daughter for a single mom. I went only because I helped my mother to raise my brothers. I'm the older daughter, and I went only to 5th grade. Hardly, I never graduated. I've been living in the United States for 35 years. I'm a mother of 3 kids. Together with my husband, we worked so hard to build a house. Nobody knows how hard it is to raise money to buy a house for an immigrant. But we never lost our hope. When we're thinking everything is perfect, we live in the American dream, guess what? My life changed. My husband got caught for immigration. He stayed in jail for a month. We cannot know where he is. We have the hard 5 years in our life. We deal with lawyers, but we never lost the hope. We lost everything. We lost our house, we lost our family, our mental health, because it's hard to be the head of the house. He's not allowed to work when he's in process, and this process taking 5 long years that we have to be moral to show the judge we deserve to be in America. After 5 long years, and lost everything, and be with afraid that maybe they're gonna send us to Mexico. The dream come true. My husband become American citizen. Because we show America that we good people. We come here for a good opportunities. And my husband is one of the most wonderful provider men. Without him, this cannot be possible. He never drink. He's a good man, and he's a good father. Amen. After this, a new life come into our family, a hope. And we start dream again because our kids start growing. We buy a house. After we lose everything, we buy a new house. And we start believe that we have to save money to send our kids to college. Facing another problem. Because like immigrants with no good jobs, everybody telling us it's gonna be hard. But I'm always thinking it's not gonna be impossible. And we made it. Our younger daughter graduated from Loyola University. And she wanna become an immigration lawyer. Right now, she's working in a law office in Chicago. And it's very exciting her, my daughter, telling me, Mom, I'm working with different cases, same like the one we went through. Now you know why my English is not perfect, right? It's time for me to share that I never went to school. I learned English by myself. Listen to people. And always have a good American people that teaching me even one word. That's how I learn my English. I'm here to raise my voice and let people. In November, I become American citizen. And God have a plan. I never believed that I'd be here speaking for a lot of people who don't have voice right now and have the same fray that I have for years. I'm here to speak for a lot of people who don't have home or don't have good English. I'm here to speak for them. A lot of people that I know. And now I feel so happy to be here and let you know, guys, that somebody always gonna be here to talk for the people cannot talk right now, for people are afraid to go shopping, to go find a job. It's always a hope. And America give you a good opportunity for me and my family. Thank you.
Wow, this afternoon we heard some pretty remarkable stories, haven't we? Yeah. We've heard about work being done on affordable housing and the need for life-saving infrastructure and the value of supporting immigrants in our communities. But what these stories, they remind us about is these aren't just abstract things we're working on. These are about the lives of people, but the lives of people we care about and our neighbors, and it's about making our communities better. So to everyone who took the brave step of telling their story today, can we just say once more, thank you. But we know the real truth too, right? There are so many other stories that could be told that repeat the same themes over and over again, which is why we know we need to work on this together. And alone, we might not feel like we have much power, but look around. Together, we can find ways to get remarkable things done. Together, we have real power. Are you ready to come together so we can build together? Yes! Come together. Build together.
Are you tired of reacting all the time? Yes. I am. We need more affordable, supportive apartment properties, traffic, and pedestrian safety now. Are you ready to act with urgency? Yes. All right. Well, I want to take a few moments to give you some ideas on how you can act with urgency. You received a commitment card, a little half sheet, and I respect your ability to read, but I want to highlight some important areas of need for our organization. A primary tool DuPage United leaders use to learn about emerging concerns is to hold listening sessions in our institutions and in the community. So we're interested to see if you want one and if you want to be involved in it. Developing leaders is a hallmark of Metro IAF, our parent organizing affiliate. As you heard, we don't do for people, we work with people, and we build leadership which strengthens our civic communities. So there's opportunities for training and leadership development. DuPage United is fiercely nonpartisan. We carry out all of our work without any government funding, so we can act freely for justice. We rely on individual contributions and member dues. To be more effective and urgent in our work, as well as your donations, we need a team to help with fundraising and record keeping. We don't have one right now. Do you want to take action now? Remember, we build our power with people. And as you heard, the Wheaton City Council isn't taking us seriously. We're organizing a group of folks to attend a March meeting where DuPage United leaders will address this matter with council. We'd welcome your coming. Look through the commitment card and consider prayerfully how you might be able to support the work of DuPage United. There are baskets in the vestibule to drop off your completed commitment card. We're not leaving yet, but consider this card your ticket out. No, I'm just kidding. Let's come together to build together. Come together. Build together. Thank you.
As we are organizing and building our people power base, our sister affiliates in Illinois are doing the same on-the-ground, deep organizing. Imagine how powerful and inspiring it would be if we came together to build together in a larger assembly in 5 months. Although summer might be a challenging time, as if sub-zero degree weather is not, this is an election year and an opportunity to advance on these current pressing and emerging issues. This is exciting for me. How about you? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rabbi Jesse Wayner. I am one of the rabbis at Congregation Etz Chaim, a dues-paying member of DuPage United. I offer this as our closing blessing this afternoon. Source of life and hope, we gather today as many communities, different in faith, different in tradition, yet united in purpose. We thank you for the gift of this assembly, for the courage of those who have shared their stories, and for the presence of leaders willing to listen. We have heard the voices of families struggling to find homes they can afford in the county that they serve and live in. We have heard our neighbors crossing dangerous roads, risking their lives simply to get to work or to school. We have celebrated 20 years of teaching and learning together. And we have been reminded that newcomers to this land carry dreams as worthy as any of our own. May we leave this place not only inspired, but resolved. Give us the persistence to show up at city halls, at state houses, in the halls of Congress, and at every table where decisions are made. Give us the patience to build relationships that outlast any single campaign. and give us the urgency to act now, knowing that families cannot wait, that safety cannot wait, that justice cannot wait. Bless the commitments made here today. Strengthen the hands that signed pledge cards and the hearts that have said yes to this work. Remind us that when we come together, we build together, and what we build together can transform our communities. Send us out with courage, compassion, and an unshakable hope. And together we say, Amen.
Thank you again for taking the time out to attending this important assembly. This assembly is now adjourned. Please.
Evaluation.
Yes.
Adjourned, but. So all leaders and guests and anyone who would like to attend the evaluation, it's an essential process of this assembly is to evaluate afterwards. We'll be meeting, you'll see some signs, so you go to your left, and please join us. Now we're adjourned.